Hi guys, welcome back. Hope all of you had a very good weekend. So let's get started for this week. So we had this interesting question posed last week around a certain category of numbers or a certain type of numbers called tech numbers. So those who have a phobia for mathematics in general or numbers in particular, please don't worry. This is not going to leave you dizzy. Okay, so let's jump in and take a look at what these tech numbers are. So this is what we have as a description of the tech numbers. So based on this description, a tech number is one whose digits can be split into two halves. So here we are looking to split the number into two halves. We are not looking to divide the number. So that's important to understand that we're not looking to divide the number. We're just trying to split the number. So if we have a 4-digit number, the first two digits would be the first half. The next two digits, which is basically the third and the fourth digit, would be the second half. Once we've obtained both those halves, we look to add them and then square them. The result which we obtain after adding and squaring them would be the original number itself. That is the number with which we started off. So let's take a look at this example below. The number here is 2025. Okay, so when we split the number into two halves, it becomes the first two digits making up 20, the next two digits, which is the third and the fourth digit, making up 25. The sum of these two halves is basically 45, 20 plus 25. And the square of those halves is basically 45 square, 2025, and voila, that's all. That's the number that we have. So now we will see how we can convert this into a program. I will be using Scrimba's Scrim, and I will be using Python as the programming language. So let's get started. So the number that we originally had was 2025. So let's get started with that. Okay. Now we will look to obtain the first and the second half of the numbers. The first half, as we know, we can divide it by 100. Since it's a 4-digit number, just dividing it by 100 will give us the first two digits. Let's try to print this and see what we get. Okay. So it gives you the first half and the second half. The first half is the integer part, the second half is the fractional part. So we've obtained the first half. We're only interested in the integer part, so we'll only look to concentrate on getting the integer part. So yes, so we have the first half. Now the second half is basically the remainder, and we know that we can use a modulo operator to get the remainder. Okay, now we look to print this. Okay, and so we've got the first half and the second half. This is half the problem solved. Now we need to take each of these halves and add them up and square them. So let's call this the product, and we add up the first half with the second half and get the square. Okay, the second half. So I'm not going to use any internal math functions. I'm just going to multiply the number by itself. So whatever the first half of the expression was, I'm trying to multiply it by itself to get the square. Okay, this is done. We look to print the product and see if it is the original number 2025 itself. Here we go. We've done it. Now, if we look to make this program more robust, we don't need all these print statements anymore, which we've used for debugging. Okay. So we will look to do the comparison and assert that. Okay. So we check if the product is equal to the number itself. In that case, we will look to print that that particular number is a tech number. So this is most of the problem solved. Now when we run this, we should get the statement saying that this particular number is okay. So we have a small issue here. We just have to convert this into a string. Since we're using the number here in a string as a print, so we just need to convert it. That done. Now just to take this program to next level, The original problem statement was that we needed to find all the tech numbers between 1000 and 10,000. Okay, so that is a range that is given. So once we know that we have to loop through numbers, we will start going on for the for loop. So in this particular range, which is 1000 to 10,000. So basically the numbers exist between 1000 and 9999. That is one less than 10,000. Okay. Now each of these numbers need to be looped through and we need to check for each of those numbers. Okay, so here originally we had the number as 2025. We will now make it I so that it loops through each of these numbers given in the range in the for loop. Okay, now when we execute it, we should get all the tech numbers between 1000 and 10,000. Okay, yes, that's it. Here we go. We've completed it. Fantastic. Job done.